Good afternoon. Thank you so much for spending lunchtime with us today. So I work with IFAS. IFAS is the Institute of Food and Agriculture Science with the University of Florida, and we have presence around county, in every county in Florida, in every one of the 67 counties. We have research centers as well, and something that we do in our mission is develop the knowledge, of course, in agricultural, human, and natural resource to make this knowledge accessible to support and enhance the quality of human life. You guys were putting in the chat where are you guys located? That's very interesting. I'm located, I saw two individuals that are here in my same county. I'm in Brainton, Manatee County, below Tampa, in front of the Gulf. So as you can see, are offices of IFAS around the state, and IFAS has individuals with specialties areas that are from horticulture, natural resource, agriculture, human life, forage, kids, leadership. So feel free to contact us. Of course, the university complies with an is an equal opportunity institution is something that we already know. And talking about spring cleaning, there is a lot of questions and somebody wants to find the best way and strategies to do it. So there are four main strategies that we can pursue is yes, we need trying to remove every kind of dust and allergens that there are inside of the home because we want to improve the air quality. And as we are going to be talking about AC quality as well, because allergies is something that comes with during the spring when we are doing our cleaning. Of course, helps with our mental well-being. Cleaning, decluttering spaces, remove the piles, remove the dust, help us to enhance our focus, boosting our mental clarity and motivation. And we want to have an environment, we want to work and live in an environment that is clean and we can see that and deals with our mental well-being. Of course, spring cleaning is a preventive maintenance of the house. Preventive maintenance because the maintenance of the house needs to be during the year, not only a couple of one time, two times could be, it depends of the equipments and things that we have there. And when sometimes we are doing the spring cleaning and deep cleaning that usually goes from top to bottom, we can find issues like mold, leaks, and helps to preserve the home surfaces and avoid us prevent of costly repairs, like for example, AC and sometimes in plumbing in the bathroom. Allow us well to have a fresh start because when we have a house that is easier to maintain, it's easy to have not around us, but around to all the individuals that live with us, and many sometimes children, the encourage to maintain healthy habits when we are have the cleaning. So how we do that and how we incorporate those. So the first things that we need to do and we need to concentrate, as I already mentioned, is to improve the air quality. Something that we need to mention and check is the unit of air conditioner that we have in the home. Usually, it depends the type of air conditioner unit that we have. If it is inside of the house, we need to change every, sometimes a lot of individuals do it every 2 months, sometimes individuals monthly, change the filter of the ACE unit. That, because that help us, it depends of the kind of filter that we are using to reduce dust and the pollen inside of the home. That's something that we're doing. And it's not only with the spring cleaning, we need to check that frequently. And when we are looking from top to bottom, we need to check all the grills that are in the roof around the home to clean those vents as well. Of course, enhancing the comfort of the light that comes through our home to cleaning the windows and declutter every time or the room that is inside of the house. So for a screen cleaning, something that we going to do is provides an opportunity to reset your home environment. After months of closed windows and increased indoor activity during winter, dust and allergens tend to accumulate. A throughout cleaning can greatly improve indoor air quality, helping reduce allergy symptoms and creating a healthier living space. Decluttering can relieve stress by creating a more organized and peaceful home, and a tidy environment has been linked to better mental well-being and increased productivity. Spring is also a great time to prepare your home for warmer weather by airing out rooms, caring for outdoor spaces, and refreshing your decor. It's something that is recommended is open the windows and doors of your home that allow the circulation to the air for all the house to go from the windows and goes through the door of the house. That is recommended. And sometimes people do that as well when the weather is cool temperature, but not only during the spring. Something that we need to check very well is the thorough hygiene and sanitation of all the surfaces, cleaning out the refrigerator and cabinets. During the spring, it's a lot of individuals that is recommended to steam the cabinets. A lot of people sometimes steam cabinets inside and outside and remove everything that we have inside of the cabinets. That's sometimes is recommended to do during the spring cleaning. You don't need to steam it. You need to do a clean throughout of the cabinets will be beneficial and help us with a tidy, well-maintained home. So how are we going to get started to do this? And how are we going to have a realistic plan of the things that we are going to do? So begin with a room by room. Plan to avoid becoming overwhelmed. Prioritize problem areas or high traffic rooms first. Don't start to worry for those yet. And gather all necessary cleaning supplies before you start, including microfiber cloths, eco-friendly cleaners, gloves, and trash bags to stay efficient. Set realistic goals and schedule cleaning tasks over several days if you need it. Don't think that you're going to finish with one area in one day because sometimes that is not realistic with the kind of activities and work that every one of us has during the day. Spring cleaning doesn't have to be completed in a single day, as I mentioned, could be a couple of days, sometimes even can take a full month. It depends how big is your household. Consider creating a cleaning playlist. Listen music. Listen to an audiobook to boost your motivation and make process more enjoyable. It's something that a lot of people start to do it and you enjoy it. So as I mentioned, the four mainly points are here in the PowerPoint. So start room by room, gather clean supplies, manage cleaning time, and stay motivated and engaged. Something else that we need to do is there are certain high impact areas that we need to prioritize first. Windows and curtains often accumulate dust, pollen, and grime. Cleaning this lets more natural light in and freshen up the home. Closets and drawers are ideal areas for decluttering. Donate clothing that you are no longer wear. Organize seasonal items and tidy up your storage bins. Kitchen appliances such as ovens, refrigerators, and microwaves benefit from deep cleaning to remove built-up food particles and reduce odors. Something that is very good to prevention of fire to mention here is toasters. We need to clean the little vent that you can remove for the toaster and clean that because electrical fire can start to be inside of the toasters, but because of the accumulation of buildup that is there. So please trying to do that not only during the spring, but frequently. Bathrooms, including tile grout. A lot of people use steaming as well. Shower heads and cabinets should be sanitized to eliminate mold, soap scum, and bacteria. So there are certain essential deep cleaning tasks. Always clean, something that we need to realize when we are cleaning, like professional cleaners, that are people sometimes hire a company, but the charges to do a deep cleaning in our home sometimes are very expensive. I was sick in October and I was forced to bring somebody to do a deep cleaning in my home, and I pay almost $400 for the deep cleaning. Only one time for they spent all day, but that was the amount of money I spent because I was unable to do it for a couple of months. So always clean from top to bottom. This prevents dust or debris from falling onto areas that you are already clean. Focus on cleaning on one room at a time to stay organized and maintain a sense of accomplishment. I reinforce donate, recycle, and repurpose items that you no longer need. This is not only reduce clutter, but also benefits your community. Like during the spring is that we're going to see a lot of garage sales in certain neighborhoods. They're doing that as a neighborhood sales. Create and simply weekly or monthly cleaning schedule to maintain your hard work long after spring cleaning is finished. Something that is very recommendable here, as you can see in the slide, in the picture, is involve the kids. Your children can help you with this task. In the cleaning, sometimes your husband as well, you can give them, your partner, certain areas that can help you to organizing storage spaces, sorting or disposing items from the garage or basements. That's something that is very recommendable to do.
We had one question come through. Rafael asked, so steaming is for the fabric materials around the house, fabric sofas, curtains, etc.?
It depends of the machine. At the end of the presentation, Patricia is going to give you a links that have sentences usually and methods on types of equipments to use. Yes, a steamer is something that a lot of people is using sometimes, and it depends of the furniture, because there are certain furniture that doesn't allow the steamer. But if you are talking with rocks, there are, yes, if you're going to steam rocks, it depends the curtains that you are have and the material. And in maintenance of those, you can use a steamer, you can do that as well. But sometimes with a washer and dryer is enough for them. That is something that we need to read the label of the cleaning of the curtains that we have and equipment that we have at home to see how they clean it. But yes, a steamer is one of the methods that is more recommended lately. You are right. I hope so I answered your question. Something that we need to see is to declutter. We need to have like a road. So we need to separate because we start the storage. And so I remember in the beginning of the presentation, somebody put say that stuff start to pile up, and it's true. So it's recommendable that during the spring cleaning, we need to separate things that we are going to keep based in the seasons that we handle here, sometimes winter and spring or summer, and separate things that we are going to donate. If in the picture you can see things, if we have children, sometimes the toys that are there, sometimes the clothes, and another pile up of the things that we are going to discard or things that we are going to bring to a donation center. So we need to have the list of donation areas if it's a Goodwill close to our home, what is close that we can bring to them, or if our neighbor is doing a garage sales during the spring Usually it's during this month. The majority of neighborhoods do that in March. You are going to bring stuff to a garage sale to start to declutter everything and start with one room at a time and sometimes start to focus with one closet as well. This can take more time further than the cleaning that you are doing in the same area. So one is the cleaning of the room by room, and the other one is the declutter of that room as well that you are doing the cleaning if there is items storage in a closet or a room like this. Something that is very well spread and a lot of people has been getting the need to that is organizing and storage solutions. Something that we need to recommend is that we cannot keep cardboard inside of the home or in the garage. Why? Because cardboard arbors the pests to come inside of the house. So you are not going to be dealing with the cleaning, you are going to be dealing with pests inside of your home. Roaches, sometimes rodents. So we need to be very clear with that, nothing in cardboard. And as you can see in the pantry, something that can help us with this when we have glass containers or plastic containers is introduce labeling. When we start on when we are storage as well, binners in the garage, we can start to do the labeling for what is inside of every container. Modular containers is something that is very popular as well because save space. So in a reduced space, we can have those modulars that we can storage different items. Something that is very recommended is hierarchical zones to keep post-clean clutter separated for the rest of the area. So those are certain things that we can incorporate to help us with this. As well, something that is a tip is that we need to clear certain routines, like offer a weekly and monthly check-ins to the cleaning that we have done, quickly tied up and reserve the initial effort because we can spend a lot of time doing the cleaning. But if we are not doing these tied ups in a day, when you are going to finish at the end of the week, the work that you were doing, that you spend a lot of time trying to clean and make that look, if we have start to clean those spills, if we have to remove the dust, will be easy for us that spend all the weekend doing it again. It's recommendable sometimes like a 10-minute cleanup that's going to check if everything is tied up for 10 minutes and it's going to be like reinforced. Remember that create a habit takes 21 days. So when we start to incorporate this new habit, you can't take until 21 days to make this a routine. And of course, monitoring inventory to review to check if the areas that we have cleaned continue or we need to go to work a little more in those. So calendars are very efficient in things like that. What are the 6 micro habits to keep motivation high? When somebody is doing a screen cleaning for the point of view of psychology and well-being, mental well-being, a lot of people can, for the smell, sometimes they use a candle with scented fragrance that they want to smell. A lot of people want to hear music, or they want to hear a podcast, or they want to hear a book, audiobook. That's something that you can be doing it. Have a snack clear to pick up during the time that you are for easy access, not only you, but from your family members that are helping you with the cleaning. A body, so you partner of your kids, helping you with not only is my responsibility to do it, this with we incorporate kids, we are start to teach them the role model and we are making her part of this task with us. So that helps to elevate self-esteem as well. The lighting, when we are going to clean everything, the lighting needs to be very good, clear that we can see what we are doing. Sometimes because particles of dust, sometimes they are not clearly visible. And every member of of the family that is doing the cleaning, yes, sometimes doing a cheer up to the individual is motivating for the boosting of us. When we are talking about health, smell is one of the components that are more important. A lot of people say they came to clean and doesn't smell. Oh, I clean and doesn't smell clean. The area doesn't clean, doesn't has that fragrance. So for allergies and asthma, it's recommendable that you choose fragrance-free, low volatile organic components, sometimes VOC, and non-ionic detergents that leave behind no residual scent. These products often carry a hypoallergic reaction, and they flag and use water-soluble surfactants that clean less to those the surfaces and reducing what the water inflames. A reliable choice is a mild plant-based cleaner free of synthetic fragrances or parabens, as these can be sneezing and throat irritation. So a lot of people start to say, "What my throat hurts and I feel irritation and I start to sneezing," is because of the parabens and the fragrance that the cleaner that you are using contains. There are individuals that have sensitive skin. So for people who react to even meal irritants, go for plant-based with a pH balance formulas. Look for labels that mention skin tolerance testing, such products certified by dermatology boards. Gentle formulations avoid sulfates and alcohol that can dry out eyelids, lips, and hands after whipping. For daily disinfecting, diluted vinegar or baking soda solutions are a soothing middle ground. They have a mild odor but do not coat the skin with chemicals. And vinegar is one of the best cleaners used for this task. Another thing that we need to see with the health and with the smelling is individuals that are pregnant or nursing. During this stage of pregnancy or lactation, call for a restricted ingredient list. There are stick to something that is non-toxic, certified organic cleaners that avoid ammonia, chlorine bleach, synthetic essential oils that might trigger nausea or respiratory reactions, and a 3-to-1 dilution of white vinegar and water or a small amount of dish soap can clean surfaces effectively without the harsh impact of harsh chemicals. That is something that is very important. With children and pets, for the households with kids and for creatures that love to dab, you need to see in the label that are pet safe and child safe. Labels are the key, something that we need to check. These products usually lack bright fragrances and contain only mild surfactants, like enzyme-based cleaners are specifically used for pet urine and feces. They break down the protein-issues materials, neutralizing the odors and minimizing the risk of irritation for young children, because we know that the urine of pets has a very characteristic smell and lingers in the household for a long time if it's not appropriate clean. If we are doing with the smell, so what about with these pets and how we control that? There are enzymatic sanitizers that target the bacterial components that they produce the persistent smell. Unlike bleach, they do not leave a strong chemical aftertaste and swap a standard disinfectant for an enzyme risk at least twice a week in high traffic areas. Then instantly you can blow or air dry to keep the scent from lingering, because the urine has that possibility. The VOC sensitive individuals, those who notice dizziness or headaches from plants-based scents, heavy cleaning stations should favor an steam cleaning routine or microfiber weaving. So steam agitates dust without adding liquid, eliminating the need for gels or sprays. In case of extreme low VOC aversion, a brief ventilation break after each cleaning session. So if you feel stuff like that, go to take a break, go to breathe air outside of your home in the garden just for a few minutes under a window, and this helps dissipate the microscopic particles. So something that we need to check is don't forget to do a spot check on a hiding patch before all, o- all over run. A clean looking finish can mask underlying irritants like a 10 minutes sniff. You can go inside of the room and start to smell if you that you can confirm there is no sour or chemical smell remains and you are safe to move on. And when you are choosing a brand, read the ingredient list for common culprits like fragrances, parabens, plantates, or high volatile aldehydes. The most thoughtful approach to blends products that match the specific health profile for each occupant and pairs them with proper ventilation or steam techniques. And always maintain a clean mask strategy as final touch. If you can, the smell and you are very sensitive, you can use a mask to use when you are doing the cleaning. During the cleaning, something I want to mention is because during the spleen, pain allergies. And not only for the clean, but we are working, we are going, and sometimes we're going to see when the car is outside of the home, the pollen that is yellow surface comes. So something that we need to do during this time that we are doing the cleaning is trying to build our immune system to trying to avoid cold and flus, because that is something that comes for not only for the lower temperatures, for the pollen and allergens. So we need to boost our immune system. So beta carotene is something that we can find in every plant food, like potatoes, spinach, carrots, mangoes, broccolis, and tomatoes. Consume everything that has vitamin C, like citrus, berries, melons, tomatoes, bell peppers, and broccoli. Vitamin D, that we can find that in fatty fish and eggs, milk, and 100% juices that are fortified with vitamin D, and also very good sources of this important nutrient. Zinc is more readily absorbed from animal source as beef, seafood, and there is present in vegetarian source, including wheat germ, beans, nuts, tofu. Probiotics are a good bacteria that promote health. They can found in cultural dairy products such as yogurt, live cultures, and may also be present in other fermented foods as kimchi. Protein comes from both animals and plant-based sources such milk, yogurt, eggs, beef, chicken, seafood, tofu, nuts, seeds, beans, and lentils. So yes, we are doing the cleaning, but we need to boost our immune system because all these allergens and the pollen, and sometimes the lower temperature, like what happened this week, a lot of individuals start to be more sensitive to flu and cold and linger more because the immune system has no that built up. These are the food that we need to consume. Something as well is that we need to focus to keep our immune system healthy all year, not only during the spring, not only when during the cleaning, but focusing a balanced eating plan and adequate sleep and stress management. Remember that adults, we need to aim for 4 to 7 servings of vegetables and fruits daily, and to get a variety of vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants that may support our immune health. Good hygiene, hand washing with the kids as well is something that we need to encourage that when we are doing that. Help prevent the spread of germs. And please, when we buy vegetables or fruits, remember running those after the water before eating or using it in recipes, even if you don't plan to use the peel. Cleaning of the glasses, forks, spoons, and other utensils to reduce the spread of growth of bacteria. And something a lot of people start to complain during this cleaning is the stress. So find a healthy and an appropriate ways to cope with the stress. Meditation, listening to music, writing, physical activity also is a great way to help manage stress and may help reduce the risk of chronic diseases and that could weaken our immune system further. The lack of sleep contributes to a variety of health concerns, such as weakness of the immune system, and 7 to 9 hours is recommended for an adult, and children age 1 and older require between 8 and 14 hours, depending of the age. Something that we need to do as well when we are doing our cleaning, and something that we need to remember for the rest of the year and more when we are coming during the summer is drinking of water, because our body start to lose the percentage of water that we have. An infant's body is about 75% of water, and an older person body is about 50% of water. So because of this decrease in the body water, older adults are at increased risk for dehydration and should keep themselves adequately hydrated, because the thirst mechanism can affect the by aging. Adequate water intake can be challenging for some older adults. So when we are doing these tasks, please remember be drinking water. If you are doing this in your garden, or you're going to do something like gardening outside the house, we should be drinking 15 minutes, every 15 minutes water. So here there are, Patricia is going to provide for you some links if somebody wants to do a list of the areas we need to do with the cleaning. It's a checklist for that. If somebody has to find a specific cleanings that are plant-based, or you are very concerned for the kind of cleanings that you are using, that website has natural cleaning products that you can use in your household, and what kind of essential spring products I want to acquire. These links have that information. I hope so that this has been beneficial for you. If somebody has questions, feel free, let me know.
Thank you so much, Nelly. There's mostly like asking for suggestions more than anything.
Mhm.
If you have any suggestions on space saving ideas, because I think that that was the part where you were mentioning like cardboard is not recommended because of
Oh,
pests.
yes, that is something that we have learned with the pest management control. So cardboard is not. So plastic bins is one of those. And now when you are going to different storage and storage, there are multiple of these. There are, like when you open, there are like compartments that you can storage, and it depends where you're going to put those. If you're going to use those in the bathroom, if you're going to use those in the kitchen or in the closet, there are multiple ideas. You can sometimes even check online for ideas like that, and sometimes even go to all for stores like TJ Maxx or Marshalls. When you're going to see things, they have very good products that help us with the storage. And yes, cardboard is something that we cannot keep inside of the house for the pests, because pests live there and harbor there. Is like people has those issues in the garage a lot. And sometimes when somebody's delivering like a box for Amazon in your home and you keep that cardboard inside of the house, a lot of people doesn't notice that only after a few days.
Okay, we have, for those who have pets that they take outside, you know how they roll around in the grass and they get all the pollen and everything in. What suggestions do you have to like try to minimize that and keep that house clean with animals like that?
It's a lot of individuals that sometimes before bringing the pet inside of the house, they bring one of those microfibers and dust around the pet before bringing inside of the home. But that as well is the kind of cleaners that we are going to be using. So for pets, there are certain cleanings that we can start to use to try to avoid things like that. But a lot of people use a microfiber to remove, trying to remove the pollen from them when they come inside of the home.
Similar along the same lines. For those with pets, do you have any recommendations about like HEPA or air purifiers or something that's more affordable?
HEPA purifiers, there are different kinds of purifiers, and let me see if I can find something and I can show you that will be beneficial for this, because when we are talking about purifiers, there are certain kind of purifiers that is completely different. Let me try to see if I found that one. Is a different presentation. I was working for another team, and is the ones that you need to look for, because in air purifiers there are different types. So mm, let me try to see if I can show you something of that. I'm looking in another station that has that specific to answer in this question. So give me a moment to try to see if I can show you exactly what I'm talking. And yes, there are, it depends of which type of filter is, there are a few that are more expensive than other ones. So there you go, I found it. So let me see if I can. Let me see if you can see that presentation or no, Patricia.
You stopped sharing, so
Okay, you can see it?
no, you're not sharing anymore.
Okay, let me see it again because here I have in the screen, but it's not sharing. Hold on. You can see it? The filters?
Yes.
Okay, these are the different kinds of filters. So it depends according to the ones that are the fiberglass panel. There are the play accordion, there are the electrostatic, and is the HIPAA. HIPAA is one of the most recommendables because uh, allergens, sometimes germs, bacteria, but these are the ones that are more expensive. And you can even find those in stores like Walmart. You can find those in Home Depot. Sometimes you can order those online in a box. So those are the different kind of filters, and you can see what every one of those target. So in the HIPAA, you can see that lean, pollen, dust, mold, dust mites, lead, bacteria, smoke, all bacteria carriers, allergens. That is one. So according to the type of everyone, the list decreases. So when you are looking for air filters, that is something that you need to check, things like this. But yes, they are expensive. There are no, it's going to be the same price like a fiberglass panel, and sometimes is there are individual units, or you can buy the box. That is the one that is recommendable to things like that. And for allergens and things like that, a lot of individuals as well have like something that the air condition has for filtration only with the filter. A lot of individuals have is I'm thinking of the name of the equipment, that UV light. So a lot of individuals put in the in the machine, in the condenser, put a UV light to trying to suppress all this kind of reduced dust and bacteria that pass to the inside of the house. But that is an additional cost for the homeowner. So, and those UV lights sometimes start from 200 to $1,000. It depends of the things they have, but a lot of people use those as well to reduce allergens and bacteria inside of the home for their quality.
Yeah, I have two air purifiers, one with a UV light thing, and they
Yeah,
work pretty well.
yeah,
Um,
because a lot of people that has bacteria and a lot of people that has asthma. So yes, so that's the problem. So it start to use because of that issue. But a combination with a good HEPA filter with a new very good UV light sometimes helps and has decreased these kind of things. issues with the individuals inside of the household.
Okay.
But
Um,
that is according to every homeowner. That is not something that you need to have. No, you don't need to have. If you want to, it's up to you. Yes, and do very good research about them because it's a huge, huge uh, opportunity and types of products that are in the market.
early on in the presentation, you mentioned opening the windows to let in some fresh air.
Hmm.
Somebody brought up how, people are out there gardening, blowing using the leaf blower, and that picks up the pollen and everything. So in a situation like that, if somebody is gardening, how long should they wait after they garden before they open the window so that they're not letting in that stuff in?
If somebody is doing landscaping and is blowing, at least 30 minutes, wait until they have finished 30 minutes that you can open the windows. And something that is recommendable, that's the reason a lot of individuals have los screen in the doors, that we can lower the glass in the doors and leave the screeners that the air cross to the screen to inside of the household. A lot of people start to use like a double door that has the screen to allow the filtration of the air. But if somebody, yes, if somebody is doing a landscaping and is mowing, at least 30 minutes that the air has passed and everything, all the grass clippings and everything are settled in uh, in the yard, because if not, you're going to have all that inside of your home. And of course, you need to be very careful as well with the time of winds, because if there are strong, all that pollen and allergens, when you open the door, is going to come inside of your home. So check as well. So it depends of the kind of when you see how strong is the wind, that we can do stuff like that. But yes, we need to do it. Something else that we need to do and is very recommendable for air quality is run the fence. We have fence in rooms. We need to do that for the air circulation of the area and to avoid mold during months like summer. It's very recommendable to we do that. And we are doing that sometimes during the winter to air every room of the home as well for air circulation to avoid mold.
Somebody mentioned that they have a subscription for Filter EC for AC filters.
Oh,
So that's a possibility that people can look into.
yes.
Um,
I used to have the one too as well. They have they send me the HEPA filters to the home. We buy the box. So yes, and it's cheaper for the amount they came in a home. So you can see, start to checking, because when you start to do, it's like when sometimes needs to be like a smart shopper when you want to see for how much they are charging and how many are going to acquiring. So it's an option that you can pursue. Yes, there is a lot of companies that are offering those services as well. But remember, buy the right size of filter for your unit.
um, and then earlier on, I linked to an IFAS article that talked about how to create your own household cleaner. So for those who are interested, that's an
Yeah.
IFAS article. I do wonder though, like, do you have a preference over like creating your own household cleaner or using the ones that are out there? Does it matter?
It's not preference, it's according to the individual. As I mentioned, vinegar with water is the best cleaner. And everybody has preferred that for many, many, many years. And yes, vinegar with water cleans and it's the 3-to-1. But the combination, it depends of the individual, and there are a huge variety. And a lot of people sometimes create the ones, but the main component is vinegar, water and vinegar, yes. So yeah, they have very good information for everyone, like what type of cleaning products with what kind, 3-to-1. The water and vinegar ratio is 3-to-1. 3-to-1, Leanne. 3-to-1, yeah. It's more water than vinegar. And the article that Patricia put you for the cleaning, it helps as well.
let me find the YouTube link so that people can have that as well. Give me 1 second. While I look for that, is there anything else you want to share, Nelly?
No, good luck. Don't get stressed. Enjoy it and incorporate every member of the household because you don't need to do work all by yourself. So please, let's try to teach that. It's something that we need to involve every member of the household to help us. And the individuals that live by themselves, I'm so sorry, it's over you. But take your time, enjoy it. I start to listen or do something that you enjoyed meanwhile you're doing the cleaning. And it's something that we need to do it for our well-being as well.
Okay, let me see. Any other questions?
And remember, when we start to cleaning, we need to start to clean from top to bottom. So
Oh,
that means we need to start to cleaning all the fence and dust all the fence since it's the first thing that we are doing when we go to a room. And from there, we are going to go. So for the ceiling down is how we do the cleaning. The last thing that you're cleaning is the floor, everything that is in the floor surface. So that's the right way of cleaning. Because we start to clean the cabinets and suddenly we're going to start to see the fan. Oh, there, I need to dust it. You have cleaned all the cabinets. And when you are dusting the fan, all the particles and everything is falling down in your cabinet. So that is the right way to cleaning, top to bottom.
okay. I don't see any more questions. If I could just add for from that decluttering standpoint, there are plenty of organizations like women's shelters and things like that that could use with a lot of stuff. So if you're decluttering and looking to
Mhm.
donate, Goodwill is always good, but there are other,
Salvation Army,
yeah,
Mothers
other
Helping
places that use.
Mothers. There are tons of organizations. And for kids, there is a lot of organizations that helping single households raising kids. So if you have clothes for kids of toys, they receive those as well. Yes, you are right.
Okay, I don't see any more questions, so I think we can go ahead and wrap it up. Thank you so much, Nelly. If there's nothing else you want to add before we close down?
Enjoy it and take time. Don't get stressful about it. So, because a lot of people start to, my God, I have working 8 hours and now all this weekend I need to do it all this month. Take your time. Nobody's rushing you out. So take it slowly and enjoy it.
Perfect. Well, thank you all for joining us. We appreciate it. And thank you, Nelly, for sharing the information. We were much appreciated.
My
Have a
pleasure. Have a good
rest of your
afternoon,
day.
everyone. Thank you. Take care. I'm glad that you enjoy it.